Hey, and we're on. We're live. Power Lunch has started, and this thing keeps sinking down. Bear with me. Hey guys, are you ready? Bear with me. Bear with me on this end of stuff. Oh my goodness, what is that? Why is it doing that? God damn it. Oh, thank you. All right, I hope this works. Hang on. Do you like them? They're my fancy ant earrings. Welcome, blabbers. Welcome, periscopers. Today, talking money. Why you should stop getting paid. Well, stop trying to get paid what you're worth. I need to record this. Yep, here we go. Power Lunch, welcome. Thanks for joining us. That's part of it, Chris. The problem in your business is that you keep trying to get paid what you're worth. And it's frustrating because you feel you must convince people that you are worth more. This is the bane of every freelancer, consultants. This is the complaint. Like, I'd like to charge more. How do I convince people to do it? The answer is stop trying to convince people. Start communicating that value. The problem is, and this is for everyone, but I'm going to say it's particularly problematic for women. And I'll say it right now, is because there's something, sorry, I'm going to turn off that. Because you and I have fallen under this spell I don't know if it's a self-improvement spell. I don't know if it's something to do with what we're told as women. Men, tell me if you agree. But this idea that you need to be paid what you're worth. Oh, you deserve more, honey. You're worth more than that. You're worth. This is a really, really tricky thing to get into. I'm going to tell you right now, take your ego out of setting your prices. Because when you get caught up in this battle of, oh, but aren't I worth more? Then it becomes an issue of self-esteem. And we've all hit ruts in our self-esteem. It becomes difficult when you're trying to set prices based on how you feel about yourself or how you think people should feel about you. It's a real problem. Here's how I know. I experienced this myself as a young editor at a magazine. Now, you and I both know that magazines do not pay much, right? I knew that. I took a pretty big pay cut to take my job at a magazine, and after a year, I thought I deserved a little bit more. I thought I deserved more. I thought it was worth more. The fact is, I was still a new editor. Whether I deserved it or not, I mean, that's like a whole other thing. Yes, the market does decide. And the fact is, magazine jobs are they're exciting and fun, and a lot of people want them, and so they don't have to pay as much to get someone in that seat. Because you work hard and you're good at what you do in your job does not just mean you deserve more money. Stop seeing money as an allowance. Stop seeing salary as a reward for good behavior. Okay, well, it's a place to start. And stop conflating your personal worth with your professional rate. I can't emphasize this enough. Because I was so heartbroken when I couldn't get $40,000 a year at this job. I was under 40. I was making under 40. And I was like, oh my God, I hate it. I wanted to make more money, obviously. But I thought, oh, aren't I worth just 40,000? Aren't I worth that? That's crazy, because then you're wondering, well, yes, I am worth more. Then you're questioning your inherent worth. You're saying, oh, I'm inherently worth more. So that means I should be unhappy now. Now I'm going to be mad and hurt about it. Well, that didn't help me at all. It did not help me one bit. And it's not just till now that actually a colleague of mine, a woman I respect quite a bit, changed my mind. She put it into words in a way that I hadn't. Because I was like, charge what you're worth. You know, like, girlfriend, you should charge more. It's like, okay, if everyone just charges more and inflates their prices because they think they're awesome, that doesn't make any sense. It's not going to fly. Because, for instance, I've used this before, a press release, okay? you're going to pay anywhere from $250 to $500 to have a professional writer write your press release. That's a big range. Now, it's not worth it for me to do it for $250. Really, it's just not. Like, usually I do a press release for someone, it's going to be probably around $500 because it's like I'm going to take the time to learn what it is and do it. You could probably get someone cheaper. I don't scrounge up all the press release writing jobs because I can, either someone wants to get it done cheap for $150. That's not worth it for me. It might be great for someone else to get their foot in the door with someone. And it may be worth it if I have a bunch to do and I can get, what did she say about what? You can't take the suspense. I know I'm telling 3 different stories. What I'm saying is that is what determines it. You can get a good press release for $300, so that's what you should pay. My friend, we're talking about the $40,000 thing, about how I needed to make more money? She said, oh, you're worth this and da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, yes. Elise Bennon. That's who I'm talking about. Marketing-mentor.com. She is terrific. She has a business of helping solopreneurs turn their crafts and skills and talents into business for like 20 years. And she said to me, never charge she said, stop trying to charge what you're worth. And she said, here's what she said. She goes, when people say, how do I convince people to pay more? How do I convince my clients to pay more? That's not a pricing thing. You get $7 an hour? That's not very much, though. $7 an hour isn't very much. If you're getting paid more than you're worth, the market will write, right? Okay, I know, I hear what you're saying. And she says, I'll read it to you. I have it written down. Her clients always said, how do I get people to convince people to pay me more? And she says, that's not a pricing problem. That's a marketing problem. And she's right. She should be. She's the marketing mentor. Her whole thing being, yep, you're not communicating why you're worth something more. With a press release is a press release. I don't think they're driving business. So yeah, it's not worth it. You could pay $1,000 for a press release. Why? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. The key, Bennon said to me, is to separate what you do for other people from what it means about you. You could have, if you have an education, if you have a PhD and you have this and this and you're selling something you do that has to do with that education, yeah, of course it's worth more. Yes. If you're trying to get a deal writing a book and you have published other books, yeah, that's going to be worth something too. But do you see what I'm saying? Separate what you do for other people from what it means about who you are. You know how I know this? Because my mother thinks I'm worth $1 bazillion. I can't charge $1 bazillion because my mother thinks I'm worth it. Right? If your mother thinks you're worth $1 million an hour, you can't go to people and say, I am worth $1 million an hour, so you have to pay me that. No. That's not how it goes. And if you underprice, you're showing you don't have that much value. If you say this is a great leather bag, it's a beautiful leather bag, it's handcrafted, it's made in Italy, made of Italian leather, and it's $20. I go, what's up? Why is it $20? I'm suspicious of it. Totally suspicious. So when people say, well, you should raise your rates. Well, you can't just raise your rates just because you were paying me $500, now it's $1,000. Well, the people who are paying that are going to go, well, why? Tell me what you're going to be doing differently. So I don't get this whole inflate, and I'm worth it because I'm a good person, because I work hard. If you work hard and you're a good person, guess what? You're doing your job. And by the way, people who aren't good people sometimes get paid too, often. You can gradually move people up. You can price out your current clients, but you have to be an idiot to price out the clients you have when you have no other people who are nibbling. That is not the thing. Am I right? Right. I'm hitting this. So I want to read to you. I'm not going to read to you. But this, in my Kindle, what I'm reading, Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. I told you I'm loving so much in this book. Salespeople, not the prospect, are the ultimate barriers to any sale. Here's another thing he says. Move price up, not down. Say you're selling packages, a consulting package to a company or an individual, whatever. And you say, hey, if you do this, and it'll cost, like $1,200 or $500, whatever, pick a price. And they go, well, I'm not sure. I think that might be more than I want to spend. That's not a reflection of what's in their pocket. That's a reflection of what they see the value you're bringing to the table. And price is only an issue in the absence of value, as has been said a billion times. People will leave you and say, nah, this isn't worth my money, and they'll go to a competitor and pay more. It's not about not enough money. And this scarcity idea that there's not enough money in the world for you, and oh, you'll just take a little piece because there's not enough, this is such a small way of thinking. He does agree with me on this. He does. I mean, this is what he said. I mean, I'm taking this right from here. He says move people up, charge more, double your rate. You know what lets you double your rate? When you're so damn busy, you don't have time for new people. When you're really damn busy, you're in high demand, you raise your rates. If you've got nothing going on, you don't get to charge more than market value. Sorry, who's paying for that? Right? Now, by the way, this is also on Blab. And if you want to come on and talk about a pricing issue you have, join me on Blab. It's free. You start the account in 2 seconds. You can hop on with me in person. And the folks who are on Blab, if you want to hop on, you have any questions, I'm happy to deal with it. Oh, yeah, here's the other story from Sell or Be Sold. This is why I know this is in line with what Grant talks about. He says if you offer something to someone and they're not sure about the price, and they go, well, it might be more, he doesn't go to a lower price and go, well, maybe you want the smaller version. Maybe you want the smaller. How much smaller are you going to make yourself till someone goes, why would I pay you at all? Right? You don't offer a smaller package. You say, well, here's maybe what you really want, and show them a more valuable package. More, bigger. Not because I'm going to try to take more of their money. That's not the attitude. The idea, he says, is people are paying for a solution. They want to make the right decision. They want you to be the answer. They would love you to be the answer. They want you to solve the problem, right? Of course. They want you to solve this problem for them. And so you don't do it by making it cheaper and cheaper, because then I'm like, why would I pay anything? Right? They want you to pay. They want to make sure what they're getting is more valuable. Well, give me an example. Okay, one person says, what if what you're selling is a commodity? So look, you know this already. If you're competing on price, if you're like, how do I sell toilet paper? Well, I can get toilet paper pretty cheap. And so, yeah, you're not going to make $1 billion on toilet paper unless you have a very big toilet paper operation. You're solving their problem. That has to be first and foremost. We've talked about it. Another example he gives in the book, as you know if you've read it, is he said, okay, he was helping with a fundraising effort. And someone was going, oh, well, we can't get any money out of this one guy. He's got a lot of money, but he's so cheap, and we can't even get the smallest amount out of him. And so he went and talked to the guy, and within an hour, closed the guy for like 20 times more than he was originally going to spend. When he asked the person, what's keeping you from giving? Like, your money would really help a lot here. The answer was, they were trying to get $10,000 out of him. And he was like, I don't think $10,000 is going to solve the problem of what I care about in this business, in this fundraising effort, in this charity. He was like, $10,000 isn't going to do anything. Make your money count more. He got like $100,000 out of him. He got like 10 times the amount. Why? Because now he knew his money mattered. People want to know that people want to know that the money that they're spending is going to yield something. A new client of mine said, I don't mind paying more if we know it gets results. Now, of course, there's always a little bit of a risk, right, when someone doesn't know if they're getting that results from you and they're new. But there is, and this is a common saying too, there's plenty of budget for solutions that work. People will pay for that. What they're not going to do is pay a lot up front for something that they're not sure about. I have a colleague who was charging around $40,000 for a corporate training thing that would be for like 6 months or a year or something. It might have been 6 months. And he couldn't get anyone to close. Well, I said, but they're afraid of being had. No one's paying $40,000 up front. But what if you asked for a bigger chunk up front and made smaller monthly payments so they wouldn't feel as scared about jumping on? You don't want to put up a big wall. You want to make it easy for them, right? So where are you in your pricing when you figure out your pricing, when you're figuring out your pricing for different clients? Where are you saying, oh, but I'm worth more than that? Because why? Because you're a good person, because you work hard, because you do lots of great things. You got to tell me how you're solving my problem. Yes, and Grant also says that if you don't know how to sell, there's more of a chance you don't like selling. And the reason people say they hate it is because it makes them feel uncomfortable. They're afraid of taking the risk. They don't like asking, and they also don't have the tools to do it. Now, this was a topic last night. I was having drinks with Kate Gaffin, who is on Periscope, who's got a great community called Connecting to Greatness. she's got a huge community of people who just rally around her at every turn. And we did a webinar together. We're going to be doing another event in New York City coming up in a few weeks. She's terrific. But one of the things we talked about was how so many people who are solopreneurs and people who work for themselves who say, oh no, but I hate selling. Yeah, you might hate selling, but if you really hate selling, good luck growing a business. Everyone is in sales. Everyone. If you are responsible for running on your own steam and getting paid, you are in sales. Exactly. And I say to people, if they're like, I just want to do what I'm good at, you can either grow your business and hire people to help you with the stuff you're not as good at, or you can go be an employee somewhere, which there is no shame in that. Why everyone thinks they have to go into business for themselves is crazy to me. And you don't have to. If I know a woman who has her own PR company, she's been scraping by for like over 10 years. Her biggest paying client pays less than my rent is every month. In New York City, it's a lot of money. And she was afraid. She was trying to give more to them and give more, hoping they would pay her more later. Guess what? People aren't going to pay more for something that they're getting cheap now. You must create that value. I said, you've outgrown that client. It's time to find more clients. She said, oh, I don't really like finding new business. I'm like, this is going to be a problem for you. And in fact, even though you think, oh, when you own your own business, exactly. When you own your own business, you're like, I am going to make more money. Not if you don't sell. You might make more business working inside of the machine and climbing the corporate ladder. I'm looking at Blab over here. See that? I'm trying to grow the Blab crowd because on Blab, you could pop on and talk to me. So come on over if you want to. We got an open seat. Oh, we got a call in. Woohoo! Let's turn you around. All right, this is going to be a little tricky, so bear with me. Hang on. Let's see if this works. Two call-ins. Bonnie. Michael, how do I get you in? Oh. Let's start with Michael. Bonnie, hang on 1 second for us. Hey, scoping and blabbing at the same time. Love it. Ambidextrous. Michael.
Hey.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
Terry, doing great. How are you?
I'm good. What's your take on all this?
Well, I had an experience that I wanted to relate regarding one of the internet freelance sites I got on. I started a career transition a couple of years ago, and discovered I am a pretty good writer. I'll go into writing PR and PR press releases and stuff like that. Built a website and got on this firm, but I found myself competing against people in other countries that didn't have the overhead that I have, being living in the United States. So I literally was blown out of the market. Instead of what I did find was a different niche. But
well, you had to compete on price, and that wasn't going to make you any money.
Right, exactly.
Right.
At some point in time, if you compete on a global enough level, then what you are doing has the possibility of becoming a commodity. That's the part where I was just, I got to get on, because you have to differentiate yourself. You have to create enough of and again, I guess I don't want to say brand, but I guess that's what I'm going towards.
Yes, absolutely.
Whether it be service, call me 24/7, blah, 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 or whatever your differentiation has to be. It has to be something that differentiates you from somebody in another country who will do it for 35 cents.
Well, right. You know what? Take a good example. There is Fiverr, which is a company, like an online source where you can be connected with designers in other countries. And I was like, and you can there's some beautiful design, very talented designers globally. But guess what? I had a horrible time. Like I don't think he spoke English, and he didn't understand my email and directions, and I didn't get what I wanted, and I ended up paying for something I didn't want and realized it was too hard to communicate with him. And I'm like, you know what? It's not worth this aggravation. I'd rather speak to and pay a designer what the rate is for a designer here for customized design and do it that way. So the commodity thing, like, hey, Fiverr's going to be there because it serves a purpose, but you want to bring some value there. How has that helped you with pricing for yourself?
I have actually having a Fiverr experience myself. It was I've actually gone into telephone sales. I've gone into more of a telephone sales background than web design, marketing design. and kind of left that field and went into telephone sales for, for basically survival reasons, which has worked well. But I have a Fiverr experience also. I did find a lot of people, the positive side of Fiverr, were taking hey, here's a little gig I'm going to do for you for $5. Now we're going to add on, I'll do this and do this and do this and do this. But differentiating yourself on Fiverr, I mean, one, you're right, there's some really talented people that open up their businesses on Fiverr and then expand it as you build a relationship with them.
Right, some of them just can't do it. They're commodity design. Like, some of them can't. They're just checking a box for you because,
Right.
And there's always going to be that service. There's also a lot of, like, I'm a writer. There's a lot of services where you can get, like, robots to write stuff for you. That's fine, but we're not really there yet where people are comfortable having robots write their stuff. And the ones who are, I don't want that business. I'm not trying to convince someone to hire me and not a robot. Not yet, anyway. And if that happens and everyone's using robots, then I have to figure out what in my human capacity makes me better. So it makes sense. But I still think that, and we're going to talk offline, Michael, but that you're still scraping bottom, like where can I grab low-hanging fruit, instead of sowing the fruits for a bigger business. And look, there's no shame in that. You got to get a job. You got to get money where you get it. And in doing different jobs, you may discover that you have other skill sets to bring to the table. But it's not just layering on services, in my opinion. It's also figuring out what the customer really wants. And they don't just want one thing. And if you can divine that for them and serve it, you're going to solve a lot of problems and be the go-to person.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But there's also I don't know if have you read the 10X rule yet?
No, I'm still finishing Sell or Be Sold, and then I'm going to read 10X.
Yeah, 10X is awesome.
I'm like afraid to read it because I know it's going to blow my mind. And I feel like, oh no, it's going to blow my mind like way too much. I'm afraid of that.
It's going to be weird.
I know, and I'm excited to because I know everyone else has read it, and it's been awesome. But it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Michael, and you and I are going to explore that further. I want to bring Bonnie on.
Yeah,
Bonnie's like bursting at the seams here with some thoughts. Hey, Bonnie, what's up?
Hi.
Hi.
So, Michael, I know your name from somewhere, and I have no idea where. Maybe you know.
Good
I don't
Irish
know.
name.
It's not
Good
from
Irish
telephone
name.
Sales, though.
Fast Company years ago.
Could be from what?
From Fast Company magazine a long, long time ago.
Yes, I believe that is it. There you go. Thank you for clearing that up.
So what's up, Bonnie? You must have some opinions on this.
So I do, and it's interesting. So everybody does not want to go into business for themselves.
Right.
It seems like they do when we're in this very small Periscope lab meerkat world.
Right.
Sometimes
Totally.
it's hard to remember. We are in a very small bubble.
Yes.
As if you walk down the street and you mention any of those three words, you're going to get, huh?
Yeah, but I love
Right?
this, people. We're the early adopters. We're all here. We're doing it. We're on the leading
Are
edge.
the very early adopters. Exactly. So if I pop into any lab, a lot of people know who I am. But if I pop in any city hall across America, they don't, right? So it's not, it is a very small space. So,
Right.
But, one of the things about being an entrepreneur that a lot of people literally don't ever think about until they're there is the sales part of it.
Yes.
And it's
yes.
huge.
It's huge. It's everything.
It's huge. And have you not thought about that? No, really, I hadn't. I thought maybe I would just hire somebody. Oh,
Right.
I love that comment.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
guess what? You can't do that because ultimately that person who is buying from your sales girl or your salesman is going to need to talk to you.
Yeah, you need to be able to
And
present
once
your
again,
brand. Yep.
You have to sell them.
Right.
So it's all about sales. You might as well just learn it from the start, or like I put in my chat, find another line of work. There are loads of things to do out there that don't involve sales at all. Right,
Right, and that you're right, because
Lighthouse
people
Speakers, I think, is one of them.
they love to do what they do. They go, I just want to do what I'm good at. And here's where this is where the heartbreak comes in with entrepreneurship, when they're saying, I'm going to run my own thing, and then they say, but I'm going to be so good that I don't have to sell. And that is a heartbreak because it's a misnomer. Sales is not what you do when you've been horrible at it and now you have to push something uphill. Sales is part of and integrated with the effort of what it requires to communicate your value to someone else. It's unfortunate that it's gotten a bad name because we think used car salesman, we think sales like, hey, look inside my trench coat, I'll sell you a watch. We think of it as this backdoor dirty business when really it should be elevated.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what do you do, Bonnie?
Well, I have the Women in Biz. So the Women in Biz
what is that?
Helps female entrepreneurs start and grow their businesses. And
so you consult individually?
I'm sorry?
You consult individually then?
Wait, say that again?
You consult individually with individuals about their businesses? You do coaching?
Oh, yes. I do coaching and I do courses. I have a mini mastermind that's starting next week. Lately I've been coaching a lot about Periscope and Blab and how to utilize live streaming effectively and how to monetize it. So I work with solopreneurs and small businesses in that way. And I started it because when I started out in business, I had no support. There was nothing out there and certainly nothing affordable.
It wasn't free internet, free tutorials everywhere.
Oh, and blueprints. Oh, that's great. Blueprints. Well, I'm thrilled that it's a blueprint for your business, but guess what? It's not a blueprint for anyone else's business.
Right.
Not one other person who's going to download that document.
Exactly.
So, right, exactly. So I really tried to, to get rid of all of that junk for new business owners and help them out in that way. But a lot of new business owners don't understand that there's so much sales. And I'm so glad that you brought up, Terry, about how it's so completely wrong that people say, oh, we just, I don't sell. I simply let them know what I have to offer.
That is selling.
Oh,
letting them know.
Exactly. What about those 25,000 Facebook posts you put up?
That's
Is that
sales.
Selling?
It's all sales.
What about the solo mailers and the newsletters? And what about the billboard I passed on Highway 270, right? None of that selling? Come on. It's all selling. All of it.
Totally. Well, Bonnie, you're certainly... Michael?
They know it or not.
What, Michael?
It's either... Another way that I've looked at it is if you just look around in your neighborhood, people are selling every day all around you. They're selling success, they're selling prosperity, or they're selling poverty and want. You have people that also sell that. A lot of the times when you turn on TV, turn on the news, what do you get? You got somebody selling need, selling fear, selling want. That's what the mainstream media is.
Right.
It's... And at the same time, I mean, it's everybody is constantly selling. The whole thing that took place, we've already learned about the dot-com bomb. I mean, that is not something that it's something I'm very leery of because it caused, well, me personally, a lot of pain to bet everything on technology and how technology was going to do everything. I was already in sales before in the mid-'90s and was struggling because I didn't have any direction that I needed, and then I got into tech will take care of everything. Build websites, technology, blah blah blah. Even with technology today, you still have to have the human contact. That's why Blab is becoming very successful, is because we still have the ability to interact and communicate with facial gestures, with
absolutely.
Voices.
This is like
sales
this is the best
is
way to communicate. Right, and everything else we've tried to do. Mailers, videos on YouTube, whatever else. It's all trying to do what we're doing now, which is get in front of people. I got on Periscope because I love to teach people and talk to people and interact. What I didn't realize is that, of course it is a sales tool, but I didn't go into it thinking, ooh, see who I can sell. And yet, since I've been here, I've met wonderful people who have paid for my time. And so that's worth something. And I don't go on there talking about what I'll do for you all day and talk about under the hood stuff. No one wants to hear that. But just by being there, you're actually attracting people who are interested in hey, look, everybody, Bonnie Frank. She helps people, especially women, launch their businesses. I'm pretty sure that of the 20 people who have joined Blab since we've started, and we were really only around 6 people for a while, they'll be like, hey, we have a women's group. We're trying to launch businesses for these people, and we need Bonnie to come speak. You've seen Bonnie. You've seen her talk here. You go, you get a sense of her energy. You're like, yeah, I like her. That's it. Sold.
Right.
Sold.
Sold.
Right? I mean, and look, I'm not everyone's cup of tea either. There's plenty of people who don't like me, but luckily they're not as many as the people who do, or I wouldn't be having anyone on here. But I want to thank you guys both for joining me. We just hit the end of Power Lunch. Bonnie, what a pleasure to meet you. I hope you'll stay in touch, Bonnie. I think we're losing the sound on this. She has an echo.
Yeah, there was a bit of an echo.
Sorry
I was
about
having
that.
trouble hearing you. So were you on both? You were on Periscope and
I am
Gab,
right
or
now.
Are you still on both?
Yeah, we got some people still hanging on there on Periscope. But yes, I'm filming both. So I have my camera from the phone pointed at the screen so I can double task broadcast. But yes, Bonnie, please stay in touch. Love to hear how I can help support you and anything you're doing or up to. And Michael, of course,
Absolutely.
you and I will talk, and we'll see you guys back here another time.
Okay, sounds great.
Thanks, guys.
Great. Thanks,
Thanks for
Mary. See you later.
How much do I love this? I am loving this. Truly. Something's wrong. Hang on. There we go. Ugh, this damn thing. For the hanger-oners who are still checking out, and we're still on Blab, we've got 20 people left. Let's just do a really great guest today. You know who I booked in advance. This phone, it keeps falling. It's making me crazy. Sorry about that. So yes, this was really fun. The idea here, I hope that you'll take away, is that it's not about charging what you're worth, it's charging what the market will bear and what you bring to the table. And if you don't know what that is going to be your problem, because you can't sell unless you know what it is you are selling and you're totally convinced by that sale, which is what Grant says. You know, you really have to be sold by your own stuff. I'm not like sold like, oh, I'm so awesome, but I'm sold on the fact that I know what I'm good at and I know what I can help people with. And I know that it's helping people land their messaging, stick their messaging, perfect their pitching, and speak to the media, their audience, and investors and prospects on how to communicate what they do. And so, yes, if you would like to meet with me privately, I'm here. Just hit me up on my website, terryjusbeshow.com. So Power Lunch is technically over. You guys are free to go, but I can't not talk to Mr. Clean DJ. Who is Mr. Clean DJ? Hey, he's really a DJ.
Yes. Yeah, I am really a DJ. How's everybody?
How are you? What's up, Mr. Clean?
I just wanted to jump on real quick.
Sure.
I know it was at the end.
That's okay.
I wanted
What's
to
up?
Jump on real quick. And first, let me say I'm a big fan of your work.
Oh,
I just
very
learned
nice.
about you this month. I think last month. And I follow Uncle G. I follow Grant.
That's
Cardone.
how. Yes.
Yeah, and I watched your show. I love everything that you're doing. You give great content. And I just want to, first off, before I even start talking about the topic, just come on and just say
Thank you.
thank you for doing what you're doing because you're inspiring more people than you know
Wow.
that you are. So I'm down here, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, about an hour away from New Orleans, and so I am a DJ. My company is Mr. Clean DJ. We are 100% clean music. We play all the top 40 songs. We do private parties, weddings, bar mitzvahs, all the whole deal. But we're focused on family fun and fun and entertainment for everyone.
Right. So there's no like embarrassing lyrics in front of your grandma.
Right. So that's the whole deal. So people come to me because they do not want to be embarrassed in front of their grandma.
Yes, they do not want to be like twerking with their grandma.
Exactly. And if they are twerking, it's like the clean version of the twerk. It's real, you know what I'm saying? It's not like the full out twerk. You know what I'm saying? So
That's hilarious. Well, you know your niche. You know your niche.
Right. Thank you so much. Yes. And so, and it took a long time to get to that point. And, I've been in entertainment a long time. I've done everything from being in a rap group to managing groups to
Wow.
running a recording studio, and so now in the daytime, I'm a high school film and music production instructor.
Oh my God, I love it.
So, well, thank you. And so this is what you're seeing is part of the music studio that we have set up for the kids. And the real cool part is the part that you can't see because I'm talking from the iMac. But
They must love you. I can imagine you'd be such a great teacher.
oh well, thank you so much. I really do try. I really do. I give it 100% every day, and especially since I've been on the 10x mission. I've been trying to 10x it. I have if I'm on a stream, a scope, or a blab, and I'll show you. I have success as my duty posted up over the door. The kids all know it. Success is my duty. We've done a 10x goals exercise already.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I've done actually 2 or 3 blabs from my classroom, and I met like Matt Crane, Chad Pittenger, Mandy Arthur. We like all been like, on blabs before. So that's when I saw you on here. I was like, I have to meet Terry. I was
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you. That's so sweet. Well, it sounds like you got your stuff all figured out.
Well, I try. I'm trying, and it's a growth, it's a learning process. But I jumped on because I had a student. I just had this conversation like 10 minutes before you started, and she was telling me she's a very talented photographer, and she's about 17 years old. She's a very talented photographer. She's freelance and she's just starting out. She's going through some family issues. Her father passed away, and they're scrapping for change. And I'm like, man, you have a gift. You need to be making money with your gift. I'll help you turn this thing into a business. And she's like, well, nobody wants to pay me though. Nobody wants to pay.
What do you mean no one wants to pay? They expect her to do it for free? I mean, this is a skill she's selling.
Right. And I told her that the problem was her, not them.
Right.
I was like, the problem is you don't expect. She's like, well, I'm charging $35 for a session. I was like, well, that's
what?
I was like, that's the first problem. The first problem is you're charging too much.
Okay, you're in Louisiana. Maybe you're not going to charge Manhattan prices, but
right.
She's doing individual. She's doing individual sessions for people.
Individual sessions, like you come and get you come bring your clothes, and we do the photo shoot, we do the whole deal, and she's charging $35, and she's editing the pictures, and she's doing
my God! First of all,
yeah.
She should be charging $150 a sitting. The sitting
That's
should
what
be
I told
2
her.
hours tops.
Yeah, that's what I told the same deal. And so I was like, I'll help you get your website together. I'm saying, you need a website, you need somewhere you can display your work. And
she needs to show what she can do because,
right.
To think that you shouldn't have to pay her because she's young. If she's young and inexperienced, maybe you're not going to pay top dollar for that. But $35 is not acceptable. Not for this kind of work. No way.
Yeah, it's not going to work at all.
So listen, I want to help with that effort. Is there any way she can join us sometime?
Yeah,
on the blab.
Yeah, I teach her. Well, we have a little break coming up, so we're not going to be back to school until Tuesday.
Right.
But when we come back, I'll definitely link you up. I'm following you on just about everything. So
let's set it up so that you guys both come on. And I want to. I mean, you're going to be her biggest guide and give a talk. Like you're going to guide her through this. But I kind of want her to hear it from me, just being a woman who's older than her. That I think she needs to hear. Like, again, it's not charge what you're worth. Like, oh, you're just worth more. She is new. But people should be, if someone doesn't want to pay, they're not your client. And also, what does she like to be taking pictures of? What's her favorite thing? What would be her thing? I'm going to tell you, there could be a whole market for people who just want better pictures for their online dating site. She could be doing just great. She could just be doing people's, look great. Like, what's appealing to her? What's fun? She can do anything that they hire her to do. But if she says, hey, put out a thing, be like, get your online, she could do a session where everyone pays $25 to get, but they only have 10 minutes and you have a 2-hour thing and everyone who comes in, you book it solid.
Wow,
she could do a thing where she has, go out Saturday night with pictures you're going to take today, and she could promise she could turn them around, do it on a Saturday, they have the pictures by that night or something, and to post on their profile.
That is amazing. Man, Terry, you really are, but you're a solopreneur, man. You got it going on.
Well, I'm an online dater, and I know everyone's pictures suck. So I would really like her to.
I wouldn't know if that's true or not, because
you're married. Okay, fine.
I haven't done online dating since Facebook first came out.
Oh my God. Well, listen, this is what I think she should do. Look, she might not care. If she says, well, I love animals, then maybe she takes pictures of people's pets. But really, what's going to solve, instead of saying, what could I take pictures of, it's what problem could she solve? And most people, if she wants to cater to that group, I'd say charge them $50. They get 10 pictures. They get to choose 2 that get photo finished, or even just 1. But in the meantime, she could take a bunch of each person. They're in and out in 10 minutes, in and out for 2 hours, $50 a head. She's made a couple $100, maybe $1,000 for the day.
Right. That's amazing.
And keep it down and have it be an event. Be like online date, like it's.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's Tinder. To be like Tinder shots or something.
Tinder, online Tinder, like Tinder shots, and like people can take professional photos for their Tinder accounts. That's Like, boom. That's great.
I want to
That's
see
great.
this girl get paid and have people saying, please take my picture. I would do a few for free, maybe for really cheap or free for friends, and then show
Right.
those pictures and then have their testimonials of like how many people reach out to them after they had their pictures done.
Oh, yeah, nice. Like some testimonials. That is amazing. That's an idea. I had an idea. I told her I had an event idea. I was like, maybe you and a few of your friends who are all like kind of in the art, in the art world. That she has other friends that do graphic design deal, and maybe they can do some type of showcase, and then you take pictures like when people walk in, step and repeat, and people and sell pictures right there on the spot.
But
And
for
then-
what? You want to tell the user what it's for. The other one I'm going to give you, and she should do this too, is do a different one that's like LinkedIn pictures. Because people have horrible corporate headshots, and some people don't have any pictures, and they're inappropriate for LinkedIn. So they should have like
Oh my
really
gosh.
great pictures that are casual, but like businessy, not like in a suit with a blue background, not horrible like that. But you could do some outdoor shots. You'd be like, I will upgrade your professional online profile and give you pictures that you can use on all your professional stuff, and that is money. That's $200 a pop.
That's $200 a pop. Man, bless your heart, man. Bless your soul, Terry. You that's an amazing jewel right there you just dropped.
Awesome.
I
Well,
gotta
please
go.
help her out.
I have to go. The
Yeah.
bell just rang. I got to teach my third class.
Well, go. Please tell her that, and tell her you got a business plan, and I want to hear what the update is and hear how this is going.
No problem. No worries at all. We'll be in touch very, very soon. Thank you so much.
All right,
much,
Mr.
Terry.
Clean.
Appreciate the time.
See you
Thank you so
later.
much. All
All
right,
right,
have a
guys.
good one.
Wasn't that fun? I love doing stuff like that. To me, it's so obvious because when you look at people's headshots the way I do, dating and professionally, they're horrible. So if you're in Louisiana, maybe you pay this girl. I would love to see her making some money. Look, this is what it's about. All right, people, it's time to get back to work. It's time for you to get on the phone or do whatever it is you do. And we'll talk more next time. All right? Thanks. Oh, bye, Mr. Clean. See you later. Don't know your real name, but Mr. Clean is fine. I'll talk to you.